Hey guys, good morning. This is Rob from Rob's Catching School. Today we're going to be going over in-season weight training protocols. Now, weight training for each athlete is very specific depending on where they are as a athlete in terms of weight training. For instance, are you a beginner? Are you an intermediate? Are you an advanced athlete in weight training? Or if you use a little bit more of a broader system like a 1 to 5 scale, 1 is beginner, 3 is intermediate, 5 is advanced, and then the 2 and 4 has like the, he's a beginner or she's a beginner, but he or she is a little bit better in this part of training, and as opposed to number 4, where this person is a pretty advanced athlete, yet they're still limited in terms of certain parts within their weight training protocol that is not allowing them to advance that level 5. Okay, so, and also this is very sports specific and depending on which sport you do, obviously. So today we're gonna be going over baseball, and I'm gonna be doing from a catcher's perspective. And first thing you have to know is, what does the position demand of you? Catchers are in the squat all day long. We're throwing every day, regardless if our pitcher has been taken out of a game or not. We're still in there throwing. We're still doing bullpens. We still have to get our hitting in. The demand on a catcher is very different than that of a pitcher, or than that of an outfielder, or that of a middle infielder, even a person in the corners. So how I like to think of this as is, like I said in the beginning, where are you as an athlete in terms of your weight training cycle? 2, what level are you currently playing at? What time of day is your game being held? Because that will also depend greatly on how you can continue your weight training cycle. If you have morning games, okay, great. You play in the morning, you do your weight training in the afternoon. Or if you play in the afternoon, you can either A, do your training in the morning, or B, take your training to the afternoon after your game. Now, the most difficult one is if you have nighttime games. That means you're gonna have to either get up very early, just so that the weight training does not affect your in-game performance, or B, find out what time of the day that you can still do your weight training, that it won't affect how you are for the remainder of the day. Meaning, can you still do your weight training at 12 o'clock in the afternoon or at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but now you're pushing it pretty closely to game time? In the past, I do notice some athletes that they did not mind training at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to play at 7:15 game. So once again, going to the beginning of what I spoke about, it depends on how you respond best to weight training. Now, that will also go into how many times a week are you able to train? Meaning, are you a fast recover? Meaning, if you train today, are you sore immediately the next day, or are you sore 2 days later, or are you sore for the next 3 days? Travel schedule. What type of facilities they're going to be using. This has a big role in understanding how you're able to continue your weight training protocol during the season. Now, the style of training that I like to use is a combination of multiple training methods. I'm a big believer in Olympic weightlifting. It is a compound exercise or a compound training protocol that doesn't focus too much on isolation exercises. And the reason I chose that is because at the end of the day, we're not bodybuilders. We need to be fast, explosive, powerful. We need to be strong, but we also do need to have individual strength in those isolated muscles. So I like to choose Olympic weightlifting because we can do a variety of compound exercises depending on, like I said, your training protocol. And you can go pretty heavy or you can go very light, and it won't affect a person that much. Once again, once you understand how this person responds to training, and you can also guide it in a better aspect. So is this person better with a low rep response? Are they better with high rep response? Now, when you say high rep response, now we're going into a hypertrophy aspect of things. How far can we push a person without getting them too tight in relationship to their weight training? So the Olympic weightlifting, it consists of snatches, clean and jerks, also consists of deadlifts, lots of squatting variations, a lot of pulling exercises, which is great because, as we know, baseball, it has a lot of pushing actions into it. So we're running, we're throwing the ball, so Olympic weightlifting does have a lot of pulling, which counteracts a lot of that stuff. And at the end of your weight training exercise, you can also include some isolation exercise, because you should, but it won't focus too heavily on it. And as an end result, it won't give you some stiffness or a little bit of lack of mobility that you don't want with your weight training. So choose what type of athlete you are in terms of knowing who you are, and then developing your programming based off of that. The second one would then be follow a program or create your own program that will allow you to keep on progressing, or at least maintain the strength that you've built during the off season and your preseason, because that's what an in-season protocol is to help you maintain majority of that strength and explosivity that you develop during the off season, so it doesn't diminish your performance output. And the great thing about Olympic weightlifting is it is quick, it's to the point, and it's a total body exercise, which at the end of the day is you get the most bang for your buck. It's not saying that other variations of training isn't beneficial. I'm saying that's my go-to exercises for in-season training, because I can also include some isolation exercises at the end of my training, and it will help me feel, it just makes me feel good. I feel great within my knees, my back, my hips, my shoulders. Everything feels great after I complete one of those sessions. So ask yourself, what type of athlete are you? Are you beginner, are you intermediate, or are you an advanced weightlifter? And then where are you in your season, and lay out your competition schedule, label out the times that you're playing, label out the days that you're playing, and then configure where throughout the day you can actually have your best training times that will not affect you for your games that day or the day after. Okay, another big thing to include is restoration work. Are you getting body work from a bodywork therapist? Do you do your own bodywork recovery by yourself, which includes a lot of stretching, a lot of mobility work, joint mobility work? Okay, we don't want any stiffnesses to develop or excess knots that will hinder our range of motion, which will then hinder our performance. Okay, so today what I'm going to show you at the end of this video, which is just a couple seconds, is what a set of my Olympic weightlifting workout looks like. Here you go, check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed that set. If you notice, it only took me about 30 seconds to complete that. Follow that sequence I just showed you. I did another sequence of shoulder exercises, which was push presses and power jerks for about 3 to 4 sets. Also, I think it was 4 sets if I remember correctly. And followed by that sequence, I did another one of power cleans and front squats. I felt great after that session. I was able to long toss later on that day. 2 days later, I ended up doing another similar workout, of course with different movements and exercises, followed by some isolation work for my lower back, hamstrings, and tricep work. So see, everything depends on the days that you're going to be active, what you're going to be doing, and then you can create a following program for that to support you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a shout on my social media pages, Rob's Catching School. For those who have my number, you can just give me a call, send me a text, whatever it is, and I'll be more than welcome to help you out. Have a great day, guys.